just rolled over some people and littered it all the way down. And I just remember seeing people bouncing off of the street all the way, rolling down past 10.
Well, we were waiting to get into the show, and we were like around the side, and all of a sudden this car just like came driving through, like hit 10 people. Like, so fast. I just saw all these people just flying. Like, it was terrifying.
Well, this YouTube video coming into us this morning of the horrific scene in downtown Austin overnight. Police say a suspected drunk driver plowed into a South by Southwest crowd, leaving 2 people dead and 23 others injured. Now, we'll get a check on your weather and traffic in just a moment.
Yeah, but first we want to go out to Sophia Beausoleil. She has been live at the scene all night long shortly after it happened. Sophia, what can you tell us?
Well, what can I tell you? It was a really crazy situation. I got here just minutes after it happened. This whole street was filled with people. People were outside at all the different bars enjoying what was supposed to be a fun night. So Art Acevedo, the chief for Austin Police, tells us that a suspected drunk driver was being pulled over for a traffic stop. He then led police on a chase. He was at the gas station on 9th Street and I-35 on the frontage road. He then went the wrong way on 9th Street, and then he accelerated. He took a right. He almost hit an officer that was standing on the street. That officer actually had to dodge out of the way. The driver of that car continued to go down the busy street and plowed over people. He even went into a moped and hit 2 individuals on there, and that man and that woman were pronounced dead at the scene. So police say that the driver continued to go. He hit a cab, and then he finally crashed into a van that was parked, and then he got out and he ran away from police, but police were able to get him in custody after they tased him. Here's some words from what Police Chief Art Acevedo has to say. We'll have that sound for you coming up on KXAN News at 6:30. But Kate and Aaron, it was a chaotic scene, especially coming there right after it happened. You know, EMS was going around on the street asking people if they were hurt. If people said yes, they treated them immediately. And at one point, they had to evacuate Cheer Up Charlie's and the Mohawk. They shut down the show and got people out because this whole street was under investigation, obviously, and it will be for the remainder of the morning. A lot of people were also talking to police since there were so many witnesses telling them their first eye accounts of what happened. And Police Chief Art Acevedo, like many others, have been sending out condolences to everybody involved, the 2 people who were killed, and then also the 23 other people who were injured. And Police Chief Art Acevedo says that man who drove through the car and plowed through the crowd is facing charges of capital murder, 2 counts. So we'll be getting an update from Chief around 10:30 this morning. But for right now, reporting live from downtown Austin, Sophia Beausoleil, KXAN News.
And Sophia, you happened to be out last night during South by Southwest. When you heard about this accident, you rushed over to the scene. So before, our cameras showed up, what were you seeing? What was this like? A lot of people were rushing off to the side. A lot of the bouncers actually from the bars they took action immediately. They started directing people away from the scene because they didn't want anyone going there. And as you can imagine, people had been drinking all evening. So that was another factor. People were very curious. Some people weren't listening necessarily to police. But once people got the gravity of how serious this incident was and is, they started moving out of the way so that police could start coming in, setting up their barriers around the area to conduct their investigation and to help people who were injured. Absolutely. Well, crazy night. Sophia, thank you so much. And Austin Police are asking for your help in this incident.
Yeah, they want anyone who witnessed or have videos to contact them so they can piece this investigation together. You can call 512-974-5186 if you have any information. And we are also hearing from the mayor of Austin, Lee Leffingwell, this morning. This is the statement he released overnight. He says, "I have been made aware of the tragic accident that occurred early this morning near 10th and Red River. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families of the victims as well as those being treated at area hospitals. First responders rushed to the scene to provide aid to the victims. The Austin Police Department is investigating this matter as allegedly involving drunk driving If this is true, this fact angers me. Drunk driving is never acceptable and can lead to deadly consequences. Now, we are also learning more about the victims involved in this crash. Angie Bevan is live this morning with the very latest. What can you tell us, Angie?
We are learning more about the people injured as a result of all of this. In addition to the 2 people killed, police tell us that at least 23 others were injured. And we've heard from officials with St. David's hospitals. They tell us that they accepted as many as 17 patients that came into their facilities. And of those patients, 13 of them, fortunately, have been treated and released or are in the process of being released. Now, of the remaining 4 patients, 1 is in good condition, 1 is in fair condition, and 2 patients remain in serious condition. Well, with it being South by Southwest here in Austin, there are extra police and fire personnel and security all over downtown. They all reacted quickly. Medics were also in the area. We talked to a man this morning just soon after this crash happened. He works down here. He directs traffic at the intersection of 9th and Red River. He tells us that he saw the car coming up the wrong way on 9th Street and he tried to stop the driver. He says that he then had to jump out of the way and he watched as the car plowed down Red River Street.
As I was running, it just didn't kick in me. It didn't seem so real until I had to step over the bodies. And all you can hear is people screaming and yelling, saying, hey, he's hit, she's hit, there's somebody over here, somebody over here.
And we are continuing to get updates on those injured as a result of this crash. Again, 17 people taken to St. David's hospitals. The majority of them have been treated and released. Still at least 2 people, though, in serious condition. The other patients, we're told, were taken to UMC Brackenridge. Reporting live in downtown Austin, Angie Bevan, KXAN News.
Thank you so much, Angie. And we are following the latest for you on all of our social media platforms right now. We will be updating you on the late breaking developments at KXAN.com, our Facebook and Twitter pages.